So anti-ICE protesters are out in full force today across the country following the shooting in Minneapolis. And now we're getting new video that shows what happened 3 minutes before the shooting. DHS describes the video as new evidence that says, quote, the anti-ICE agitator was stalking and impeding a law enforcement operation over the course of the morning. And you can hear what appears to be Renee Good honking on her horn. Well, joining us now to weigh in is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posted on X, I'm sure you saw it, in response to this video. She said, quote, this woman was not a, quote, innocent mother dropping off her child at school. She was a leftist insurrectionist who was purposefully and illegally obstructing law enforcement operations. More evidence here pointing towards that video. Senator Blackburn, what is your reaction not only to this latest video, but to the video we saw, of course, yesterday that shows the perspective of this agent in that altercation and then what happened afterward?
Yes, and you know, Tommy, what this does is provide some needed context. And we knew, of course, there would be an investigation, and there is always a sadness when there is a loss of life, and we value each life. And what we have seen is this individual was there to obstruct this operation. They were hassling the ICE agents. They were trying to prohibit them from carrying out their lawful work. And you all mentioned earlier the importance of knowing who they were there to apprehend, people that were criminal, illegal aliens, people that had orders of deportation against them.
Senator, to kind of change direction here for just a minute, it's a two-part question here. First of all, you know, the Senate's advanced this War Powers Act resolution. You have Republican leadership there. Great, you know, getting the job done. But there are other bills in Congress that would further prohibit illegal aliens that get a DUI or that do things that, the House has passed to further restrict illegal aliens, make them deportable. Are you at all concerned at where the focus of the Senate leadership is right now?
We are really quite focused on getting our appropriations process finished by the end of January, and that's at the top of the list. And of course, getting individuals confirmed that the president has nominated, whether it's judges or ambassadorships. We're hard at work on that. We're also advancing good legislation. I filed a bill this week that would make all types of fraud against the United States and the U.S. taxpayer a deportable offense and allow any court to hear these denaturalization or deportable cases so that individuals can be removed. So it's a full plate. There is a lot to do. President Donald Trump is doing a great job, and we're pleased to be a part of doing good things for the American people, getting the economy rolling again, making certain that we restore our standing in the world, and certain the president has done a great job of that. We're grateful for the steps that he has taken.
Real quick on follow-up on that, as a member of the Senate, are you comfortable with what President Trump has done with our military in Venezuela and maybe doing in other places, and do you feel like Congress needs to weigh in on it?
I am very comfortable with the action that he has taken in Venezuela. And, you know, going after the drug boats, when I talk to Tennesseans, Joey, that is one of the things that they mention most often. Going in and taking Maduro. I heard from so many Tennesseans who have lost loved ones to drug overdoses who said, you know what, it is time that this happens. So, yes, indeed, they were pleased with that. And I think Secretary Rubio laid it out well. Yeah. We are stabilizing the situation. We'll help with their recovery of their economy and then transition to a democratic government.
Senator Blackburn, I want to turn to the fraud in Minnesota again. President Trump is calling it out.
Sure. Yes.
Minneapolis and Minnesota, what a beautiful place, but it's being destroyed. It's got an incompetent governor, fool. I mean, he's a stupid person. $19 billion stolen from a lot of people, but largely people from Somalia. The whole thing is ridiculous. So they're very corrupt people. It's a very corrupt state.
Now, the USDA is cutting off federal funding to Minnesota until the fraud is shut down. Senator, you've also introduced Fraud Accountability Act, which would make fraud a deportable offense, as you mentioned. What are next steps in passing that, and what does that look like on the ground?
And what it looks like on the ground is that you will be able to apprehend and detain these individuals that are defrauding the United States. And it would be green card holders, legal residents, those that are here with a naturalized status. And as I said, having any court hear those cases and remove these individuals. Now, the next steps for it is moving it forward in Judiciary Committee. Senator Cotton and Senator Cornyn joined me as we introduced this bill, and to clarify in the Nationality and Immigration Act, Mary Catherine, that all types of fraud are a deportable and a denaturalizing event. That is a change we need to make to clarify that code, and we will be pushing it through Judiciary Committee.
Senator, it's Guy Benson. Good to talk to you again. You were just responding to a question from Joey about Venezuela. You said that you felt comfortable.
Yeah.
We know that there was this big hearing, or rather briefing, on Capitol Hill provided by members of the Trump administration to members of the U.S. Senate. And Democrats come out of it, and every time this happens, Democrats say it raised more questions than answers. They didn't answer anything. It was a joke. And Republicans come out and say it was amazing, it was perfect, we're totally convinced. You were in this one. What were your impressions?
The briefing was very thorough, and you had Secretary Hegseth, Secretary Rubio, you had General Kane, you had A.G. Bondi, you had John Ratcliffe, and they all provided the necessary context to what took place and why it took place, and why the military worked with law enforcement. I appreciated the thoroughness of that, and leaving that briefing, I was really quite satisfied. Maduro and his wife have an indictment against them. There are hundreds of thousands of Americans that have lost their lives because of the actions of them and the cartel that Maduro heads. And Guy, it is imperative that we bring these individuals that have caused this to the United States, and that they stand trial for the actions that they have taken. And it's not unusual that we have done this. We have done this before. And of course, for the president to move forward and to take it. And the other thing to this, I think it sends a message to some of the dictators.